Hey guys, Nick here from Velocity Trading, and in this video I'm going to be recapping my trading day from today. And it's another fantastic day for me. Back-to-back home run days for myself. Today I shorted SAX. I'm going to go over why I shorted SAX and how I was able to predict that this thing was going to die right out of the open on SAX. So let's jump into it here. So SAX. What we want to look at first here, guys, on SAEX is the daily chart, right? I want to see, the history of this stock. I want to see how it performs on high volume days, right? So that's the first thing I did here on SAEX, right? So looking at the daily chart here, right? I go to this day here, and I only care about, higher volume days. I don't really care about these, anything like under, 5 million. 'Cause at the time it was trading like 2-3 million shares, so I really only care about higher volume days, how did it perform on days, mostly over 10 million, and ideally within the last year, maybe year and a half. Anything past that, 2018, 2017, don't really care about too much. So I care about the last year to year and a half on how it performed on high volume days. So looking at this day here, I actually shorted it on this day too, on 2019. I shorted this thing plenty of times on SAX. It's in my toxic ticker list. So SAX. On this day here, we traded 10 million in volume. If you guys don't know what I'm looking at the that black box right there on the top left. So SAX, we traded 10 million shares this day. We opened up at 432 and we hit a high of 447. So we only spiked 15 cents from the opening price on SAX. So this thing spiked 15 cents into the open, and it hit a low of 241. So that's a big fade right there on 10 million shares on SAX. So that's notable right there on SAX. This day here, right, we traded 5.5 million. Not anything crazy, but just, what I cared about was look at the opening, guys. Again, we opened up at 315. We only spiked 20 cents, and you hit a low of 280. So, I'm seeing that SAX, when it trades some volume, right, it only spikes a little bit into the open, and it loves to give back right away. So just going again here, right, look at this, guys. Opened at 418, hit a high of 434, had a low of 372. So I mean, you guys are seeing the trend, right? You're seeing the trend this day here. So this day it spiked a little bit more, but still overall 14 million shares, and we went from 459 to 573. So we spiked just under $1, and we closed below the open. So I mean, history shows, guys, on SAX, right? I just went over this day. This day here, so we spiked about a little over $1, and closed below the open. And anything past that, I don't really care too much about. This day is day 2. We're on day 1, so I only really care about the day 1. And this day 2, I think this is when oil spiked, I believe, or the sector spiked. On SAX, so that was a little bit different there on SAX that day. So you guys can see, right? I just went over 4 or 5 gaps on volume that SAX likes to spike a little into the open, and it loves to give back. So that was my game plan here on SAX, right? And obviously I needed confirmation on the price action side of things. So I saw SAX gapped up in the pre-market. Got borrows really early on it. They were gone pretty quickly at my broker, so I was lucky to be able to get borrows on it. I know a lot of people didn't get borrows on it, which is actually a good thing too, because it's just less shorts to really squeeze out for any big hands if they choose to, right? So there was less borrows, which is also good for us. So game plan was to short into the open. After a stuff move, and I was thinking maybe newsletters would come in. I don't want to say who, but I was thinking maybe newsletters come in here and they shove it down. So, morning pop here on SAX. Let me pull over my charts real quick. Those are some of the fundies there on SAX too. Just give me a second to pull up my executions chart here. So here we go, SAX. This is my executions here. So, we shorted the pop here on SAX. Was waiting for that stuff move, right? I was waiting for that stuff move. That's what I wanted to see. just, you know, a spike inside 350 level. That was what I was eyeing. I was eyeing, you know, pre-market highs around that area, around that 350 mark, 350 natural resistance mark. So I was waiting for that level and was waiting for that stuff move, right? So I saw 350, you know, kind of start to slam and the bids pulled. That's when I slammed in there. SAEX, not full size, right? You know, got in a little bit, dabbling in a little bit there. And then, you know, adding along the way, right? Adding along the way. You know, once I saw $3 start to fail here, you know, a few times, that's when I was able to get the full size in that I borrowed. And that's something I've been working on, right? Working on scaling, right? Not, you know, going all in, you know, my first entry. Obviously, certain trades, you know, maybe one bullet, one exit for this type of trade. Especially when you're dabbling in on the front side a little bit too. You don't want to be there full size. Wait for that backside confirmation. You know, wait for key level to start to fail. And then look to, you know, add into your true size. And actually, my last cover is maybe coming up shortly here, so I may be getting filled here. I have a little bit left still in the trade, so 225 is 225 area I think is where I have my last cover. So let's see if I could get filled here. Alright, so we'll see if I can get filled here on this recording. So, alright, yeah. So, like I said, you know, that was the goal. You know, looking at past history, you know, formulating a game plan, you know, not jumping in just because, you know, it's spiking, you know, waiting for a stuff move, waiting for that price action, that weakness, that confirmation on the price action side on the side of things, and then looking for the trade. Just covered all SAEX. 225. Sweet. So all out of that one. Big trade. Just covered there. 225s. Very nice. But alright, yeah. So as I was saying, guys, you know, waiting for that price action confirmation, you know, waiting for, you know, signals on the tape, and that's what I got, right? Once the bids pulled, once I saw that stuff move, that hard rejection at 350, and also knowing that newsletters are probably buying this break of the pre-market high, that they were going to become bagged, right? They were going to become bagged. And we also had some bag holders too in the daily. I forgot to mention, right? We had some recent high volume days, so I'm sure we have some bag holders here who are looking to probably get out, right? And we had some resistance, right? Looking left on the daily chart, right? You know, looking at structural resistance, so we had a lot of that around this $3.50, $4 area, and yeah, all that formulated into my thesis, and was just trading with statistical edge too, knowing the history of this play. Just giving me that edge, right? And then just waiting for, you know, that price action and that chart confirmation to go and attack, right? And, you know, to me, once $3 failed, this was a signal for me to, you know, to go all in on my my full size in the trade. And from there, you know, I was in the money, and now my stop was at break even. So you know, and followed through, right? We failed, you know, lower highs, and, you know, stayed heavy and faded all the way back down. And you guys look at the charts, you know, I covered, well, that just filled there. So covering there, 260s, 235s, and now 220s. So just being patient with it, right? Being patient. You know, I know this is a big fader, so, you know, it wasn't, you know, super jumpy to get out just because I'm a little in the money, right? You know, even on my trading, you know, I cover that P&L box, right? That P&L box, guys, is dangerous, right? Don't look at that, right? That influences your decisions. You know, it brings back emotions into trading. You gotta stay emotionless, right? You know, have targets. You know, trade for performance wise. Don't trade to make money, right? It sounds weird, but, you know, trust me, if you think about it that way, you'll trade a lot better, right? You know, you'll be more patient. You wait for those proper exits. Wait for those proper entries, right? You won't get FOMO, and you'll be more disciplined on just your overall trading in general, right? So, yeah, that's really it for the trade, right? Just had a game plan, attacked, waited for that confirmation, and pulled the trigger. And, you know, this is gonna be another, you know, 5-hour day. So back-to-back days where, you know, I'm meeting my goals, right? You know, my goals average 3-hour in the month, and had 2 big back-to-back days. Yesterday I made 12-hour. Today, making over 5-hour after I do the math. I just covered the rest, so maybe even a little bit more. Maybe like a 6-hour day. So I got to check. But overall, been great trading so far this week. And started off the month a little slow, and then been killing it the last 2 weeks. So good to see these opportunities come, and the more they come, the more I'll look to attack them. So that's it, guys. That's gonna be it for this recap. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys haven't already, check us out. We offer a 7-day free trial. Links will be down below in the description. And if you guys have any questions, you guys could email me or message me in Discord if you guys are in the Discord already. So I'm out, guys. Peace.